Dear, today's lecture is based on Polytrichum life cycle part 2nd. In this lecture, we will focusing on the reproduction of Funaria. Then reproduction contains vegetative reproduction, sexual reproduction, structure of antheridium, structure of archegonium, fertilization, post-fertilization changes, alternation of generation. So, Polytrichum life cycle part 2nd, we are directly starting with the vegetative reproduction. Okay. Vegetative reproduction takes place by means of bulbils which develop on rhizoids. Okay, vegetatively reproductive organs are the bulbils which are developed on the rhizoids. When these bulbils are matures, they germinates individually and they produce the new gametophytic plant body of the funaria. So bulbils are the vegetatively reproductive organs in the polytrichum. Besides bulbils, fragmentation of underground rhizome which produces aerial shoots also helps in propagation. Okay. Uh, Along with the bulbils, fragmentation also takes place in the polytrichum. Okay, and this fragmentation takes place in the underground rhizome. Fragmentation, you know that it is the most common vegetative reproduction takes place in the bryophytes. Okay, when the small fragments of underground rhizome is causes that small fragments or small pieces having ability to regeneration. So in this way, these fragmentation of underground rhizome which produces the aerial shoots. In this way, these aerial shoots causes the new gametophytic plant body in the polytrichum. So vegetative reproduction caused by bulbils which are produced by underground rhizoids, and another one is the fragmentation which is caused by the underground rhizome. Okay. Now the sexual reproduction in polytrichum. Polytrichum is the dioecious. Dioecious means what? The male antheridia and female archegonia reproductive organs or sex organs develop at the apices of the main shoots of the separate plants. Dioecious means male plant is different, female plant is the different. At the apex of male plant, antheridia develops, and at the apex of the female plant, the archegonia are develops. Okay, so in this way, the sexual differentiation in the polytrichum is the dioecious, or polytrichum is the dioecious plant. Now the structure of matured antheridium. Okay, you see in the photograph or diagram shows that there is a antheridial branch. At the tip of antheridial branch, many structures are developed. These many structures are polychasia as well as the paraphysis. Along with perichaesium or paraphysis, the antheridia are develops at the tip of the antheridial branch. Okay, then see the point number 1. The antheridia are present in groups. It is not develops individually or singly. It is develops in groups at the apices of the gametophores. It can develops at the tip of the gametophytic plant body. Okay. Number 2. The antheridia are surrounded by specialized leaves known as perichaetial leaves. Perichaetial leaves are surrounded the antheridia, so it is a look like a small flower bud like structure. Okay. Number 3. Intermingled with antheridia are the paraphyses. Along with perichaetia, the paraphyses are also intermingled with the antheridia. Okay. Some of the paraphyses are filamentous. Some paraphyses are filamentous, means filament like, whereas the others are bordered at their tips. You see in the diagram at the center, two paraphyses are given and their tip is the bordered or bordered. or broad. Number 4. A mature antheridium is usually stalk and somewhat club-shaped structure. The mature antheridium is usually stalk and somewhat club-shaped. Club shape is the structure of the antheridium. Number 5. It consists of a jacket of cells surrounding a mass of androgonal cell. As you know that the antheridium body is made by the androgonal cells or androcytes or sperm mother cells. Okay, and they are further covered by the sterile jacket layer. Sterile jacket layer is the protective covering of the antheridium. Okay, the body of the antheridium is made by androgonal cells, then further covered by the sterile jacket layer, and there is a small massive stalk that is the structure of the matured antheridium. Okay, and what is the function of antheridium? They produces the sperms or antherozoids or spermatozoids, also called as the male gametes. Okay, so in this way mature antheridia produces many haploid male gametes or sperms having the single male nucleus. Now archegonium. The archegonia are surrounded by colored perichaceal leaves. Okay. Number 2. The archegonia are found in terminal groups of the apex of the gametophores. Number 3. Scattered among the archegonia are modified hair-like structures, the paraphyses. Means the archegonia and antheridia develops similar on their branches or tip of the branches. Antheridia develops on the tip of antheridial branches. Archegonia develops on the tip of the archegonial branches. Antheridia covered by the perichaceal leaves. Archegonia covered by the perichaceal leaves. Antheridia intermingled with the paraphyses. They are filamentous structures, and the archegonia also intermingled with the paraphyses. The structure and their surrounding elements or parts are the same in antheridia as well as the archegonia. Okay, antheridia are the club shaped structure, but archegonia are flask shaped structure. Okay, now see point number 4. The neck consists of 6 vertical rows of cells and contain about 10 neck canal cells, which disintegrate the archegonium matures. Okay, the you know that you see in the B diagram is the diagram of matured antheridium, which is the flask shaped structure, basal solan structure of the archegonium called as the venter. Okay, and upper neck like structure of the archegonium is called by the neck. Okay, and neck is made by the 10 neck canal cells, and venter contain single venter canal cell, and at the base there is a single egg. Egg is nothing but the female gamete, which is the haploid non-motile. The sperm or male gamete is the motile, but egg is the non-motile structure. And at the time of fertilization, the neck canal cells, venter canal cells, they are disintegrate, and the mucilaginous substance is formed. And due to mucilaginous substance, the cover cells are loosened from the mouth of the archegonium, and mouth is open, and that mucilaginous substance attract the sperms toward the archegonium, and due to mucilaginous substance, the sperms are easily entered in the archegonium or at the base of the archegonium, and they are fuses with the egg present in at the base of the archegonium. Okay, so in this way, this is about the structure of matured archegonium. See in the matured structure or enlarged structure, matured antheridium in B diagram. Basal stalk is there, then venter, solan venter is there, at the tip neck is there, mouth of the archegonium covered by cover cells, neck contain neck canal cells, and venter contain venter canal cells. At the end of the or at the base of the venter there is a prominent egg having the single haploid female nucleus. Okay, now fertilization. First point, water is essential for the fertilization. Number two, water is essential. This is the most common thing in the bryophytes. Without water, fertilization cannot possible. Point number second, the mature antheridium produces many antherozoids. Mature antheridium produces many antherozoids. They are also called as spermatozoids or sperms or the male gametes. Okay. Number three, almost at the same time, neck canal cells and the venter canal cells of the mature archegonium degenerate, forming a mucilaginous mass. Okay, just I have discussed this point. At the time of fertilization or before fertilization, the neck canal cells and venter canal cells disintegrate and mucilaginous substance is formed. Number four, the antherozoids are transferred to the nearby archegonial head by splashing rainwater or small insects. Okay, with the help of rainwater or small insects, the sperms are moves or transferred to toward the mouth of the archegonium. Number 5. They are attracted towards archegonia by mucilaginous substance present in the neck. Okay, this thing we already discussed. Number 6. A number of antherozoids swim down the archegonial neck and but only one of them fuses with the egg and thus oospore is formed. So in this way, the male nucleus present in the sperm, female nucleus present in the egg fuses and diploid zygotic condition is formed in the archegonium. In this way, here fertilization is over and post-fertilization changes are takes place in the zygote at the position of the archegonium. When post-fertilization changes is starts, that is the beginning of the sporophytic plant body. So in this way, sporophytic plant body develops on the gametophytic plant body. Now the diploid zygote goes in the cell division, mitosis cell division. It causes the cell division. So in this way, small inconspicuous embryo is develops, and that inconspicuous embryo produces the sporophytic structure in the bryophytes or in polytrichum. Okay. Now the matured sporophyte of the polytrichum. Point 1. The sporophyte of the polytrichum is differentiated into a foot, a long seta and outer capsule. Okay, the sporophyte in the polytrichum having the all three parts, foot, seta and capsule. Number 2, foot is a dagger shaped. The shape of the foot is the dagger like. It is a dagger shaped structure embedded in the female gametophore at the position of archegonium where the fertilization is takes place. At the same time, this foot is at the same position, the foot is develops, so it is so that foot is embedded in the female gametophytic plant body. It acts as an anchoring and absorbing organ. So the function of the foot is to provide the food material to the seta and capsule as well as to give mechanical support to the capsule. Number 3, seta is a long, slender between the foot and capsule, and this seta is the long and slender between it is the intermediate between foot, basal foot and upper capsule or sporangium. The main function of the seta is to raise the capsule to the required height and conduction of water and nutrients. The one function of the seta is that provide the water and nutrients from food to the capsule, and another function is that to put the capsule above the plant body for easy dispersion of the spores. Okay. Number 4, capsule. It is also called as the commonly called as the sporangium because sporangium function is the production of spore and capsule function is the same, production of spores. In case of mosses or in case of polytrichum, these capsules or sporophytic structures are more complex compared to hepatic and anthocerotopsida. Okay. Number 4, capsule. The capsule is differentiated into the point number 1, apophysis. That is the distal end of the seta. Distal end of the seta is called as the apophysis. You see in the diagram, the apophysis is given. Okay. Then theca. Second part is the theca. It is the middle fertile parts of the capsule, and theca is the middle fertile. Fertile means what? It having the sporogenous tissue. Sporogenous tissue is the diploid previously, because it is developing from the diploid zygote. Now it is going in the meiosis reduction division. So diploid sporogenous tissue converted into haploid, and in this way many haploid spores are developed inside the capsule. Okay. Then it is the middle theca. It is the middle fertile parts of the capsule having archisporial tissue, also called as spore mother cells. Okay. Each spore mother cell forms 4 haploid spores. Each cell forms the 4 haploid spores. At the young condition, the spores are in tetrad condition. Tetrad means union of 4 spores, but at maturity they become free from tetrad condition and they behave as a individual spores. Number C, operculum. It is the apical part of the capsule. It is the apical part of the capsule which forms a cap-like structure at the apex of the theca. Okay, and see in the diagram, operculum is given. That operculum is nothing but the apical lead, apical cap of the capsule. Okay. Number 5, spores on germination. When the sporophyte is matures, it will ruptures, and after bursting, rupturing of the capsule, the spores are released from the lead. Operculum is removed, and through the mouth of the capsule, the spores are releases. Here many complications are there, but we are not going in details. Okay. Number 5, spores on germination produces protonema. When spores are releases, they can disperse through different vectors. When they settle down on the suitable substratum under favorable conditions, they start germination, and after germination, they produce new individual plant body of the polytrichum. Here, in case of polytrichum or in case of mosses, the spores after germination, they cannot directly produce the gametophytic plant body. They first produce the protonema, and protonema means it is a juvenile stage of the gametophytic plant body. Juvenile means very initial stage of the gametophytic plant body. Later on, protonema causes the matured gametophytic plant body. So in this way, this is the structure of the matured sporophyte. You see in the photograph the apophysis, then the spore sac, then the capsule, then operculum. These important parts are given. Okay. Now the alternation of generation. As you know that alternation of generation is always start from the main or dominant plant body in the plant life cycle. And in case of the polytrichum, the main plant body, or in case of bryophytes, main plant body is the gametophytic plant body. So we are starting with gametophytic plant body. So polytrichum. See at the tip, polytrichum is name is given. That polytrichum is the haploid plant body. Which haploid plant body is the dioecious? Male plant body different, female plant body different. At male plant body, at the tip of the gametophytic axis or plant body, antheridia are develops. At the tip of the female plant body, the archegonia are develops. Antheridia produces the antherozoids or sperms or male gametes, and archegonia produces the egg, and egg is also haploid like a sperm. Sperm is the motile structure and egg is the non-motile structure. And antherozoids are attracted toward the archegonia and fuses with the egg. In this way, diploid oospore or diploid zygotic condition is formed. So in this way, diploid condition is develops in the life cycle of the polytrichum. This diploid condition goes in the cell division and it produces the small inconspicuous embryo. Embryo later on produces the sporophytic structure. In sporophytic structure, the foot, seta and capsule, all three parts are present, and capsule contain the spores. Capsule is nothing but the sporangia, and capsule contain the sporogenous tissue. They are diploid in nature, and this sporogenous tissue diploid goes in the reduction division meiosis. So in this way haploid spores are develops. When these haploid spores are germinate, when these haploid spores developing in the capsule, when capsule ruptures, they will release from the capsule, and when they settle down on the suitable substratum under favorable condition, they start germination. After germination, they produce the protonema, which is the juvenile stage or very primary stage, beginning of the gametophytic plant body of Polytricha. And at maturity of the protonema produces the matured gametophytic plant body. So in this way, this is the very easy life cycle of or alternation of generation of the Polytrichum. Now this is the reference I have used while preparing my presentation. Thank you.